Synthesis of articles. Today, English, French, Arabic are considered international languages, the first of the three being the most widely spoken in the world. Some other languages are at the doorstep of becoming international, such as the Chinese language. And again, because of their development in science and technology. Meanwhile, Africa cannot afford to be left out in the scheme of world affairs, even if the countries in the continent would want to keep their identity and would not want their native languages to go into extinction. How can they preserve their indigenous languages in the face of international languages and in the face of globalization? Africa has become a colony of America and Europe for historical reasons. Due to economic and social development, today's Africans still have to use non-native languages to communicate with the outside world. Over time, other languages gradually replaced the native languages of Africa. Babylon, China, and Egypt were Asian civilization countries in the history. I'm thinking that many languages have disappeared from these countries, but Chinese characters and languages are still spread till now very well. So why? Historically, Chinese characters have undergone many changes. In the beginning, China may not be the way it is now. Our ancestors like to, record things in their lives, on animal bones or, materials like iron and so on. At that time, Chinese characters were called pictographs. It means that these characters were like picture, such as a sun. Our ancestors drew a circle to express it. And this reminds me of Egyptian writing, which has been written on the Egyptian pyramid. Similarly, the pharaohs along the Nile River used to vivid pictures to express their minds of epitaphs. Our ancestors haven't thought that because of their good habits, they used metal and stone or animal bones to record these materials, and which are not easily to be destroyed, and they carry the languages information until now. So languages is a heritage, and we have to responsibility to protect it. And United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization promotes mother tongue instruction in the context of a bilingual education and a multilingual education from the earliest years of schooling, because it lays a solid foundation for learning, and it improves access to education, especially for girls. And when used at home and or at school, it promotes literacy in the mother tongue and later in the second languages. It facilitates learning both of academic subjects as well as the second languages. At school, children can concentrate on the subject matter instead of struggling to understand the language of instruction as well. And it improves learning outcomes as it promotes dialogue and interaction between learners and teachers by means of a better communication and understanding. It also raises the quality of education by emphasizing understanding and creativity rather than repetitive memorization. Bilingual or multilingual education based on mother tongue. Multilingualism's practices have a lot of benefits in education, include the creation and appreciation of cultural awareness as academic and educational value, enhances creativity, adjustment in the society, and appreciation of local languages. And so, who benefits from multilingual education? How to, learners like to be excluded from the educational system, whether due to poverty, faith, ethnicity, etc., or because they belong to minorities language group. Very often, such individuals do not master the national and or local languages. And since girls and women and often form the majority of out-of-school populations within these groups, a multilingual approach is particularly to help them to promote gender parity. And next, how to implement MLE. I think we could use 3 methods to implement. The first is encouragement. Teacher need to encourage children to communicate with each other in dialects. But here is a problem. If the ratio of migrant population and the local resident is unbalanced, for example, the number of migrant population is much larger than that of local residents, it needs policy adjustment. The 2 is assistant educators and teachers must be trained to teach in a multilingual and multilingual cultural environment. They also should receive relevant training to enable them to teach in the learner's mother tongue as well as in the second language. Should not be their own language. Number 3 is materials and environments. Teaching or learning materials should be developed in the local language so as to entirely reflect a local culture. And for China, protection of the varieties of Chinese, also be, also be have in the China. This action refers to efforts to protect the continued existence of varieties of Chinese in mainland China and other places against the pressure to abandon these languages and use standard Chinese. Because of the China is very large, so different parts has their local, types of Chinese, such as Yue, Wu, Gan, Min, Xian, Han, Kan. About 10 varieties of Mandarin. The Minister of Education of the People's Republic of China has been taking active measure to protect 10 varieties of Chinese, and majorities of citizens of China speak a dialect of Mandarin Chinese, a standardized form of which has been promoted by the government of China for the last 60 years. The Constitution of the People's Republic of China calls on the government to, promote Putonghua as a common tongue of the nation, but this policy does not necessarily conflict with a plan to preserve local varieties of Chinese. That's my synthesis. Thank you.